Howdy guys, how are you guys doing? Welcome to, I think, the first recorded video of the year. We did a live stream a few days ago. If you want to watch that, it was very interesting and we had a lot of a very lengthy conversation as we reacted to a video on China, so go check it out. But Happy New Year! I want to do more recording videos because I think you guys also like them. As well with the live streams, which I want to implement them a little bit more. I don't know if in YouTube or Twitch. If you guys know a way that I could do it better, of course, go ahead and comment your suggestions on that. But right now, we're gonna stop kind of with the live streams, and we're gonna record the video, and we're gonna start with Geography Now Hungary. Now I gotta be really careful with these Geography Now videos because a bunch of them got a copyright claim, and because of that, I got a copyright strike. My first copyright strike. And they were all Geography Now videos, so I'm just gonna be careful with this one, okay? So without further ado, let's go, man.
Learn geography now! Everybody say hi to my friend Nick. You may have recognized him as the charming scientist from America's Got Talent. Say hi, Nick.
Oh shit.
Team.
Hey, so I knew Nick before all that stuff, and I collabed with him on his YouTube channel, Nickipedia, a while back. Check it out. Subscribe
America's
to his
Got Talent. It's been a while that that hasn't
micro to
been a
macro.
thing,
It was
right?
a really sciencey concept. I thought it turned out great.
So the cool thing is, Nick is actually part Hungarian. He's super proud of it. He's been to Hungary, so today he's gonna co-host with me.
Question: is there anything that I should know before we start?
Yeah, basically just don't be more likable than me or have better abs, and you'll be fine. Hey Nick.
Yeah.
Hungary is so Eastern European, isn't it?
Yeah, they hate it when you say that. And actually, Hungary is a
Really?
landlocked country located in Central Europe, surrounded by 7 countries. The nation is divided into
Why
19
would they hate that? It doesn't sound like something to, hate. I don't know, man.
counties, whereas the capital Budapest acts as a separate
Budapest.
administrative entity.
It
The
seems like an
largest
amazing
cities are,
city.
of course, Budapest, Debrecen, and Szeged. However, the busiest airports are
shit.
Budapest, Debrecen, and Győr International.
Whoa, you totally just took the animation narration.
Yes, I did.
I like this guy. Now, you know me. I love border disputes, anomalies, and territorial confusion.
What?
And although today Hungary actually doesn't really have any of those, the interesting thing is that Hungarians like to claim that they are surrounded by themselves due to the fact that there are a high concentrated areas of Hungarians that live outside of Hungary and neighboring nations. This is because before World War I, Hungary...
Yeah, dude, it's time for some history, yo. So, yeah, Austro-Hungarian Empire started as Austria, then became Austria-Hungary. And it probably makes sense that a lot of the neighboring countries have a lot of Hungarians. I do have family from Slovenia, and a lot of them, close to the border between Hungary and Slovenia, there's a lot of Hungarians. I imagine in Austria or Slovakia, Romania, those places probably have Hungarians too. But yeah, this is like a historic reason, And after World War I, of course, Austria-Hungary was split between Austria and Hungary. But Austria and Hungary lost a lot of territory. Austria and Hungary used to claim a lot more, and new countries were created with those pieces.
It was like a lot bigger and had a kingdom that spanned all the way from the Croatian coast to a large chunk of what is now Western Romania.
After World War I, the Treaty of Trianon cut up over 70% of the land previously held by Hungary and ceded it to
is a
its
funny
neighboring
shape.
states, which effectively cut off about a third of ethnic Hungarians still living in those areas. Some of the largest concentrations are found in what is today the southern regions of Slovakia and CK peoples in the central Transylvania regions of Romania.
By the way, Nick, fun side note, the comedian Louis C.K. is actually part Hungarian, but the C.K. part isn't his initials, but the pronunciation derived from C.K.
I get it. Otherwise, the country is teeming
don't
with
get it.
notable sites and landmarks such as St. Stephen's Basilica
There's also Buda Castle,
and the Vizgard Royal Castle,
Dioskur and Igor Castle,
the Tomb of Gul Baba,
Memento Park,
the Cave
okay.
Church,
the Citadella,
the Budapest Time Wheel,
the Bokod floating houses,
the Gursum Ancient Ruins, and the country's most iconic building, the Hungarian Parliament.
Nick, you've been to Hungary. What do you recommend?
Definitely go to the geothermal baths.
Geothermal baths. Ooh.
Super cool.
Speaking of geothermal activity, The more we progress through this episode, the more you're going to
physical geography. Let's try to see what's up with Hungary.
For one, most of the entire country lies on the Pannonian Basin, sometimes called the Great Hungarian Plain, nestled between the Carpathian Mountains and the Dinaric Alps, and the Balkan Mountains.
A lot of Eastern Europe
side.
tends to be very flat and has a lot of plains.
The pun possibilities are endless.
Like Poland, for example.
No puns this time.
Goulash in the bowl of Hungary. Only about 2% of the country, mostly in the north, is at 300 or more meters above sea level, and the rest is mostly flat in the largest
very
grassland
flat.
in Europe, the Hortible.
Maybe like the
Otherwise,
Kansas
the
of
two
Europe.
main and largest rivers, the Danube and the Tisa, are like the
Danube
lifelines
River,
of
very
Hungary
important.
as they travel north to south. Just to skip away, the largest lake in all of Central Europe, Lake Balaton, sometimes referred to as the Hungarian Sea. The strange thing about Hungary, though, would have to be the geothermal springs that can be found everywhere.
But what's up with the Eastern Europe thing? I still don't get it. Why is it like? It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird calling Europe, sorry, Hungary, Central Europe. It's not really, or is it? Maybe I don't know. It sort of reminds me how a lot of Mexicans in Central America get angry if you call them like South America. Like, no, dude, we're actually North America. We're So maybe it's that. I don't know.
Budapest having more thermal springs than any other capital in the world.
Nick, you're a sciencey type of guy.
Shit,
Tell them why
that's
there's hot
nice.
springs in Hungary.
I like it.
It's strange because
Well,
there
except
are no
for the
direct
people,
fault
you know.
lines or rifts
That's
that
a lot
pass
of
through
a lot of people chilling in like a big thermal pool. Doesn't sound like the most hygienic thing. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
Hungary. However, the area lies on a thermal basin not too far from the Eurasian plate that harbors geothermal activity, much like Yellowstone National Park in the U.S.
So
All
what
right.
you're saying, Nick, is you don't need to be on a fault line to have geothermal activity, right?
Yes, but most distant spots from activity are not too far from a fault line. Nonetheless, it's kind of like a volcanic blister on Earth.
I learned something.
Otherwise, the largest national park, Buk, has eroded limestone karst formations.
Gosh,
and nearby, just to
man.
the west, you can find the
He
tallest
really
mountain,
needs to stop with
Kekes,
all the
only
bad
about 1,000
jokes.
meters high.
Hungary has some of the highest quality soil in all of Europe. With over
Okay, no, I'm not gonna go there. You know, some of the bad jokes are not that bad. Okay,
51%
I said it.
arable land.
I
It
said
allows
it.
them to grow a multitude of crops, their favorite one being paprika or pepper.
Although popular all over the Balkans, paprika is always affiliated with Hungary and Hungarian cuisine. They put it on literally everything. Chicken, fish, soup, sausage, even cake.
Speaking of which, some of the top Hungarian dishes might include
Poppy seed rolls,
stuffed cabbage and peppers,
Oh,
langos,
shit.
sour cherry soup.
and the national dish
Holy
everyone
fuck.
knows about, goulash, commonly pronounced
That looks amazing. All of those dishes look incredibly good. Maybe it. I think one of my great grandmothers used to cook some Hungarian food. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, she used to go a lot to Hungary.
goulash, which I ate at every Christmas.
And keep in mind, almost all these dishes we just mentioned have paprika in them. Speaking of which, I was told you are not
Paprika is
Hungarian
good.
unless you
I
love
use
Tutti
paprika.
candy bars.
Turuti.
You love those?
Huge fan.
Oh, okay.
Huge.
Confirmed.
So that's that. Hungary's land makeup.
Now we reach the most strangest and most interesting part, the people.
The most strange part.
Hey, Nick.
Why?
Yeah.
Hungarians are
Hungarians
cool,
are
dude.
such interesting Slavs, aren't they?
And that, kids,
Oh.
is the #1 thing to avoid saying to a Hungarian. First of all, the country has
Slavs?
about
Oh,
10
shit.
million people and has the largest linguistically isolated people group in Europe. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Yeah, never better. Now this is where things get a little tricky because, like we said in the Czech Republic or Czechia episode, the Hungarian census doesn't mandate racial identification upon registration.
But-
so what the report says might be a little different from what the actual
From
numbers
reality,
are.
yeah.
But what it does say, about 86% of the country is ethnically Hungarian, somewhere around 5% are Romani or Gypsy, and the rest are kind of unspecified. It's speculated, though, that the unspecified group is most likely made up of Slovaks, Romanians, Germans, Serbs, Poles, and why not, a few Greeks, Turks, Armenians, and probably some more Gypsies.
Also, they use the Hungarian forint, not the euro, despite being in the Eurozone. They use the Type C outlet, and they drive on the
Oh
right
shit,
side
that
of
was
the road.
that's
Now, let's
actually
get some
new.
stuff straight. Who exactly are the Hungarians?
For one, Hungarians have roots that are technically not even originally from Europe.
According to legend, there were two brothers, Magor and Hunor. Hunor was the father of the Huns, Magor was the father of the Hungarians, or the Magyar people. And they were maybe both sons of the Tower of Babel guy from the Bible. This is just what the story claims.
The Huns came in and took over the area in the 5th century, but were eventually expelled.
Yeah,
After the
remember
Roman
the
Empire-
Huns who used to give a lot of shit to the Roman Empire and eventually contributed to its collapse. Huns, very important people in history, but I actually didn't know that they founded Hungary.
And Germanic tribe stuff, yada yada yada. The Moyor tribes came in around the 9th century from what most historians speculate the Central Asian steppe regions far east past the Ural Mountains in Russia. It is believed they came in to reclaim the lost land of their cousins.
This guy unified the tribes, and thus the first proto-Hungarian state was born from outsiders, from Asia.
So Nick, that means you might have some Central Asian blood in you.
That's interesting, though.
Nice. Does that mean I get a free pass to make some Asian jokes?
You get to make light Asian jokes at the expense of your Hungarian heritage.
What do you call a 5th century Central Asian guy
Oh
named
no, I don't want to hear this, dude.
Hungary.
After the Proto-Hungarians...
Gosh, the audio on this thing is terrible, too.
Christianity.
Mongols attacked twice.
Turks.
Habsburgs.
1848 revolution.
Yeah, shit, dude. You almost get to forget how big the Mongol Empire was and how far they reached.
Empire with Austria.
World War I Treaty of Trianon.
World War II, join the Axis.
Bad idea.
Soviets come in and bam, Eastern Bloc communism.
1956 revolution.
Soviets retaliate.
Bam, soft communism.
1980 end of communism, and finally the EU.
The
Hungarian language is strange. The only two relatives that exist are the Hunty and Mansi languages, found in the Hunty-Mansi Autonomous Okrug, far east past the Ural Mountains in Russia.
Now, because this place was the birthplace of all Uralic languages, that means it's possible that the Finns and Estonians might be far off distant cousins of the Hungarians. But it's so far off and removed that it's kind of like that one black guy that shows up at your family reunion that you have no idea how you're related to. I actually have 2 of those. What up, Charlie and Andre?
Eventually, the people developed Hungarian Turanism in the 19th and 20th.
Yo.
What up, Charlie and
Andre? He actually brought like a photo of the guys. Oh my god.
Eventually, the people developed Hungarian Turanism in the 19th and 20th century.
It happens to me, but the opposite way. We have white people, but like not white like Hispanic white, but like white like Scottish, Irish, English, and we are not entirely sure how we're related, but hey,
as a counter movement against the domineering pan-German and pan-Slav cultures, or just Europeans in general that surrounded them.
It all had to do with embracing their identity that tied them with Central Asia. They take it pretty seriously.
Oh, really?
Some places even use the ancient Hungarian rovas or
that's nice.
City billboards.
Embracing their heritage.
They even started the Kurultai, an event that invites Central Asian
peoples
in the first week of August with the intention to bind closer with their far-off distant cultural relatives.
People from Mongolia to Uzbekistan, even South Korea show up every year and participate.
Otherwise, Hungarian culture in itself today is saturated with unique customs and tradition.
There are too many to mention, but
very
some
unique.
universal ones include splashing women with water on Easter Monday,
or how on St. Nicholas Day kids put out their boots to get gifts,
or how they throw lentils at each other on New Year's.
We do that in Mexico
the Busho
too.
Mask Festival,
or how a bride will get kidnapped at her wedding and the groom has to perform a task to get her back.
The kidnappings—they're so beautiful.
Yeah, just wait till we get to the Kyrgyzstan episode.
Oh shit! Wow.
Water polo. They have the best performance at the World Water Polo Cup. Even though they are landlocked, they are amazing in the water.
We're like ducks. Music has always played a huge role in Hungary since classic times to the modern Sziget Festival, one of the largest and most popular in all of Europe.
Otherwise, some notable people of Hungarian descent might include people like
Rubik Erno,
Viktor Orban,
Piero Laszlo,
controversial.
Robert Capa,
Harry Houdini,
John Van Neumann,
Maria Turkis,
Zsa Zsa Gabor,
Bela Lugosi,
although the Romanians might claim him too, as well as numerous scientists, artists, musicians, and athletes.
30 Nobel Prize winners.
All right, Nick, ready to close this down with one more segment. Let's do it!
The Friend Zone!
Let's see. I always try to, on the friend zone part, comment something about the country in Mexico. Hungary and Mexico, that's tough. Let me think about something. I don't really know. There's not much to Mexico and Hungary. I guess there like maybe some Hungarian. There's probably Mexicans with Hungarian heritage out there. There's probably some Mexicans living in Hungary, but I don't know. I can't think of anything, to be honest.
Now, Hungary might have an isolated culture, but definitely not an isolated social status.
Definitely a popular kid.
Yeah. First of all, they like to call Austria their brother-in-law, because even though things got ugly a few times,
the ex-wife,
the Habsburgs did try to kind of Germanize them, so much history and cooperation has linked these two. They even teamed up and opened their borders to East Germany to help the people escape to the west side during Cold War times.
Now, despite the Ottoman times, Turkey is actually kind of the wild card friend that you wouldn't expect.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Ancestral lines, but Turkey also left its mark by leaving various historical sites and buildings in Hungary. They also take part in the Kurultai, and trade is cordial.
Finland and Estonia are kind of like the new, curious, I guess maybe we're related cousins. They never really thought about each other until just a few centuries ago. They encounter maybe once a year and just kind of nod with
they're like, yeah, shit, I guess we're related.
Now, when it comes to their best friend, Nick, I've heard a lot of things from other Hungarians. Who do you think is the best friend of
Hungary? Germany?
Paprika.
Countries.
Oh, Poland!
Yes!
They even have a Polish-Hungarian Friendship Day on March 23rd. Both countries have shared ties since the Middle Ages. Their rulers often intermarried and exchanged headship. They fought numerous battles together side by side, supported each other's revolutions, struggled together under Soviets, and came out together even closer than ever.
In conclusion, pretty much
it makes sense though, and their politics are very related. Fuck, I don't want to talk about that, but
consistency in terms of land.
Not a fan, to be honest.
But then you get this strange geothermal basin with Central Asian descended weird talking people that kind of just came out of nowhere.
Weird talking
would eventually
people.
build an identity and story that would last through the ages.
Stay tuned. Iceland is coming up next.
All right, great. Shoot.
All right,
let's get some lunch.
All right.
You hungry?
Nah.
Oh shoot, that was good. That was good. I enjoyed that, man, to be honest. Hungary, very interesting place. A lot of things I didn't knew. I didn't knew that it had some like influence from the Huns, but I didn't knew they actually like founded the first proto-Hungarian state. So that's very interesting. A lot of the modern stuff, of course, like I did knew. And just interesting. The Hungarian language is one of the hardest to learn as an English speaker or as any speaker, you know. If you learn how to speak Hungarian, dude, you are like next level good at languages, okay? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, particularly Hungarian viewers, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.